sail away. It was high summer on the island of Sodor. Everyone was busy taking vacationers to and from the beaches. All the engines were working hard, and there was lots of special celebrations. One day, the Fat Controller had sent for a new engine named Cassidy to pick up Skiff and some trucks of stone and take them to the gangplank at the seaside for Skiff's annual seaside launch party. Thomas and Toby were in the quarry when Cassidy arrived. "You must be Thomas and Toby," she puffed. "Take the freight cars slowly," said Toby. "And be very careful," he cried. Cassidy listened. "No," said Thomas. "Go very quickly, and that way you'll get the job done in double quick time, and the Fat Controller will be pleased with you. You want to be a really useful engine, don't you?" "I want to be a really useful engine," she puffed. "Don't listen to Thomas. He's not trying to help. He's trying to get you to make a mistake," puffed Toby. "Why don't you just piss off, Toby?" puffed Thomas. "Piss off? Piss off?" puffed Toby. "Why, you little Thomas, come back here, you shithead, right now." But Thomas ran cheekily away. Cassidy arrived to Brendam Docks. She was very pleased. She had arrived to pick up Skiff. Salty and Cranky were very pleased to see newcomers and were being very welcoming. "Welcome!" cried Cranky. He was very pleased. He liked company in the hot sun. "It's pleased to have company," said Salty. Cranky lowered Skiff down onto Cassidy's truck. Skiff dangled anxiously. Skiff was soon onto Cassidy's freight car. "I'm here to take you to the gangplank," said Cassidy. "Let's go." Cranky was much more happy when Skiff was detached from his hook. "You heavy, awkward pieces of machinery are very uneasy on my hook," said Cranky. And when Skiff was tied down, Cassidy puffed him away. Cassidy puffed back into the gangplank. One freight car was uncoupled. Cassidy and her driver both heard the smartly dressed guard blow the whistle, which was their cue to leave. So Cassidy and her driver both puffed away, unaware that Skiff was still coupled to them. It wasn't their fault, but Cassidy didn't know that she was now heading for trouble. Cassidy puffed back into Brendam Docks. She liked her new Brendam Bay friends. Salty puffed in with some freight cars. Then Thomas and Toby arrived. Toby was still cross. "How could you tell me to piss off, Thomas? That was so disrespectful." "Shut it, Toby. These freight cars must go to Kildane Station," said Salty. Toby was coupled onto the trucks. Thomas puffed over to Cassidy. "See? I told you, if you did what I said, that you would get the job done in double quick time." "I'm glad I listened to you," said Cassidy. "You are a really resourceful engine." Then she looked behind her. She could see that Skiff was still coupled to her. "What are you doing here?" said Cassidy. "Thomas, are you coming?" said Toby. "Piss off, Toby," puffed Thomas. "I'm here with Cassidy. You can go on by yourself." "I don't understand why the Fat Controller wants me to work with Thomas. He keeps telling me to piss off." "I guess I'd better go," puffed Thomas. "I'd have to deliver you back to the sea," said Cassidy. Cassidy was just backing onto the other line when Skiff's freight car was uncoupled, and it rolled away. "Help!" Skiff shouted. All over the island, Skiff was causing havoc. He was a runaway, and he didn't have anyone to stop him. He wanted to stop, but he couldn't. Cassidy was puffing after him as fast as she could. Skiff sped past Stanley at a junction. Meanwhile, Cassidy was still chasing after Skiff. "I must catch Skiff, I must," she puffed as determinedly as she could. Skiff rounded a bend and then raced into old sightings. And then he was derailed. "Oh my goodness, this is all my fault," said Cassidy. "I will go and get help. At once," she puffed. She found Toby and Thomas at the junction. "Skiff has come off the rails, and it's all my fault." "It's Thomas's fault too," said Toby. "Piss off," said Thomas. And the engines went to go help Skiff. At last, Cassidy's driver hooked the couplings back together, and she puffed off back to the seaside. She arrived just in time. Toby and Thomas had explained everything to the Fat Controller. Cassidy was very pleased now, but the Fat Controller was upset. "Cassidy, I'm not pleased that you listened to Thomas. I understand that you are new, but Thomas isn't usually an engine to be trusted when it comes to advice. I hope you will learn that now." Thomas apologized to Toby. He knew it was wrong to have told Toby to piss off multiple times. Cassidy was pleased. And as the engines watched Skiff sail into the sea, the engines smiled, and there wouldn't be any more of Thomas telling Toby to piss off at all.